up, guys? I'm Lexi Lombard. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to sit and have a chatty style video, just a heart to heart. Gonna answer some questions from Instagram, going to give you a life update, tell you where I'm at, see what's up, talk about the future of YouTube because what's going on? Now that I'm on TikTok, I'm like, what's going on here? What in this screen that I'm sitting in? Oh my god, how scary is that? To think you're watching me and I'm in this tiny little box because I exist, you know, in three-dimensional space, but in this scenario, I'm in 2D. Just had a work day. I sound sick right now because I believe I am. It's not COVID, took a test, but still not anything that's super fun and exciting to have. I had to take a sick day yesterday. I can't tell you the last time I took an actual sick day. Tyra and Emily, two of my best friends, one's my roommate, one's living downstairs right now, were talking yesterday before I got up, and they're like, Lexi doesn't know how to take a sick day. Like, Lexi doesn't know how to rest. She always has to like do something. And I think it's because I come from a family of people who don't know how to sit still. And it's true, it was really hard for me to stay in bed all day. Because to me, the only time I ever do that is if I'm depressed. It's mentally really difficult for me to stay in bed all day. I can stay in bed for a half day. I can sleep in, take a nap, and go to bed early. That I can manage. But the actual bed rest scenario isn't good for me. Like, it's not easy for me because even still, I spent some time in this apartment and the downstairs apartment. My friends live right below me. It's a really convenient living setup. Also went to Erewhon to get a juice and vitamin C, just some like bougie wellness things. So I still like ran errands, and this morning I got a pedicure and have been working. I feel okay now, but yesterday I still was working on my laptop. I just took an easy day, but it's hard for me to take a proper day off. Is anyone else like that? I have this constant belief in my head that I am so incredibly lazy. I don't know when that was drilled into me because I don't think it's existed in my head forever, but at least I think it was drilled into my head the last time I lived in LA. Well, I'll take a moment to dive into that for a second because I know that I was not lazy in middle school or high school. I know for a fact. And definitely not in elementary school. I was an active, upbeat kid always, and I was super involved in school. I was in sports, I was in after school activities, I had a social life, was into my academics. I also did YouTube outside of school, so I was a busy kid. And when I moved to Los Angeles to pursue this full time, if I wasn't at a studio recording for someone else, like recording the 17 Trend Report for 17 or doing a show with Awesomeness, I was home all day, and that drove me crazy. It made me so depressed because I had this whole day. It used to be filled with this proper schedule of waking up at 6:30 in the morning, going to even pick up my friend before school, and then he and I would ride to school, and then I would have my school day, and then after school I would drop him off, or I'd go to sports, and if I dropped him off, we'd often hang out for a little bit of time, and then I would do my homework, and then I would do YouTube, and then I'd go to sleep, and then I had my weekends, which were always fun and social. So to take all those things away, sports were gone. I was going to the gym because I was like, I guess that's what it is, but the part of my soul and my brain that sports feeds is not the same that the gym feeds. Clubs are taken away. Like, having to go places was taken away because my job was online. When you had a big long career and you know what you want and you have the self-discipline and you have a plan and you have a schedule, it's probably so nice to go from working a 9 to 5 that exhausted you to having your own passion project be your career and be the sole purpose of what you're doing with your time. Whereas I had a handful of interests and I ran with one and kind of abandoned all the rest and didn't know how to balance it, and was left with this ample amount of time that I didn't know what to do with, because prior to that I either had school or parents guiding those 24 hours of the day for me, and it was a lot and it was hard, and so I wasted a lot of time. 18, 19, and 20, I was wasting a lot of my time, and I felt incredibly lazy, and it was more just that I was confused, you know? I was very confused and unsure of where to start. Lots of free time even to this day because of that gets me a little nervous. There's a little bit of anxiousness in me when I think about that, because I'm afraid of wasting, you know, the finite time that we have on here if we're thinking grander scale, and I don't want to waste it. But on days where you actually don't feel good, it's really great physically, even if it's not really great mentally, to spend all day in bed. I'm pointing to my bed, it's not in the frame, but trust. So I had a sick day, and I'm still not 100%, but you know, I'm all right, I'm okay. Just living my life. I have to start packing because I am going to Europe. Tyra's birthday is in a few days, and she wants to go on a trip. She wants to go to Paris. I want to go to Paris. I'll celebrate her birthday in Paris, so that's what we're doing. The girlies are going to Paris, and I've been debating how I'm gonna capture content in it, because formally, I'm a YouTuber. That's my heart and soul. That's my bread and butter. That's what I know. But I've been experimenting with TikTok lately, and it makes YouTube feel like a really dead platform. There's so much interaction, and the numbers are so high on TikTok and so fast, so rapid. YouTube just moves at a slower pace. It's not very 2022, the way that TikTok is really of the moment. And now I'm wondering, do I even create a vlog for Paris, or should I just create TikTok and Instagram content? I don't know. Because it's a hard question to ask on here, is YouTube dying? Because it's not for you if you're here watching it, but it just feels sometimes when I post that it's going into the void, and I'm like, hello? Can anybody hear me? Can you see me? I'm just this small little creator over here, hey? You know? I don't know if we saw how involved you are in the YouTube community, but Casey Neistat's back. He just moved to New York City. He's technically been posting throughout the course of the past year, but not on any regular basis. I mean, if you remember his heyday, that was daily vlogs, and I'm wondering if he has enough pull that he's going to bring up the audience for other creators as well, because he has such a large audience that he might bring people that kind of stepped away from watching YouTube back to YouTube. And then in turn, I wonder if like there could be a trickle effect. Same thing when Emma Chamberlain went off YouTube, it felt like views went down. Like, she has such a strong pull, but she's kind of on YouTube. I haven't watched her recent videos, but she is sort of back, I think. I should fact check. You know what, I have my laptop right here, let's see. Okay, so in the past 2 months, she's posted 4 videos. And in, yeah, okay. She's so cute. She's so cute. What an incredible career that girl's had. I mean, especially as someone who was creating YouTube content before her and watching the possibilities, it's honestly been so inspiring. Like, she is now Louis Vuitton's darling. She's honestly a lot of the fashion world's darling, and she's had a skincare line. She has her own coffee company that's now expanding to matcha, and she had a bowl at Kava, and I just saw her on a pre-roll ad for Honey, and she's hosting the Met. She was just at the Venice Film Festival. I mean, she's done a lot. It's been so cool. And she's so level-headed, and I love that she's close with her parents. I love that she's so introspective. She's a smart young girl. Smart young girl. Go off, Emma Chamberlain. Also, her business, guys, could you imagine what her bank account looks like? Oh, it's a game my friends and I play sometimes. Whose bank account do you want to peek at? Comment down below whose bank account you want to peek at. That's so funny. I would absolutely love to read whose. Also, look at my hand candy. Majuri sent me these rings. All 4. This heart one is new. It's the 14K paved diamond ring. Diamonds! Also, if you want this in a necklace form, they have this not only in gold, but they have black enamel, pink enamel, and white enamel. And then the other rings are them as well. And I got to create some fun Instagram content for them. So if you guys are interested in checking out the Majuri rings, I can link them down below for a little hand candy moment. What else has been going on? Wondering the future of YouTube, going to Paris, living in Los Angeles, being a tad sick. I have a podcast studio now. I'm not sure if we've talked about that. I drive to Venice every Monday, 9 a.m. and I record an episode, and the questions this week in particular were really good. the typical nature of my podcast if you haven't listened, which honestly, if you like my YouTube, I think you'll love my podcast. My podcast is an upgraded version of this YouTube. It's just as casual in terms of it just being me and you. Occasionally I will have a guest, but more often than not, it's just me and the listener. And the first half of the episode is whatever's going on in my brain. So it's either a story I want to tell you, something that's been going on in my life, a little update just like this. And then the second half is questions from the audience. So listeners will send in questions on Instagram. And this week I really liked the questions. There was 2 in particular that I ended up asking friends the questions because I was curious about their answers. One that I loved was, what is your favorite thing to do by yourself? And I think this is a really good question and a really good thing to think about if you don't have an answer at the top of your head. The answers that I got included sleeping, shopping was mine, eating, what else? Biking, going on a walk. It's interesting. Mine was shopping. I explained more about it. You can listen to the episode. And then the second question that I really liked was, what is an insecurity of yours that you've overcome? And that's interesting because a lot of insecurities we don't grow out of. They enter, especially if it's not a puberty related thing where, you know, your features are all kind of funky and then you grow into them, where it's something that develops after that you become insecure about, and then it tends to just stay. And both those questions left an impact in me because it's something that I want to keep in my brain. A, for looking for things that I enjoy to do by myself, because a lot of times, I'll admit, especially with the dynamic of my house right now, I've gotten really used to being around people. I had a lot of alone time in New York and would do a lot of things alone. Now here, I live with one of my best friends, which I lived with one of my best friends in Brooklyn, but it was he and I in Brooklyn, and he worked a typical 9 to 5, so I was home all day, whereas Tyra works remote. And then if Tyra's gone for whatever reason, I have 3 friends that live below me. And oftentimes another friend, Emily in this case, will be subletting one of my friends' rooms. So Ella's been gone. Obviously fashion model, she's been around for fashion weeks, traveling, and Emily's been staying in her room. So at any time if I need to run to the grocery store, I want to get my nails done, I want to get coffee, odds are that at least one of the other girls wants to do something. And then even still, I have like Claudia and Drew right around the corner and some other friends in the neighborhood as well. And there's a lot of socializing, there's a lot of doing things with people, and I have gotten pretty used to doing things with people. And so when alone time does come, I hate to admit it because it's something I work so hard for, especially during quarantine. I sometimes will not really know what to do with myself when I'm alone. And I don't like that that's become a thing. But I definitely prefer being with people. So that question is a good thing to keep in my mind. What are my favorite things to do? Because then when I'm put in a position where I am alone, or I will be alone for an extended period of time, I can think of that as a chance to do some of my favorite things. See where I'm going? And then the reason I like to keep the second question now in my head, it's only been since Monday, it's Wednesday now, but overcoming insecurities, I think that's a really forward-thinking mentality to have, of working on eliminating some of those insecurities, because we have, you know, so many thoughts in a day, but oftentimes those thoughts that we're having in the day are the same 5-10 thoughts, probably the same like 3 to 5 thoughts. And you know what they are for yourself, whether it's an insecurity on your body, an insecurity financially, an insecurity within your relationship, you know, an insecurity within your intelligence, within your personality, whatever it is. And it's probably reoccurring throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. And how about we take that time to work on it, to get that thought out? Because if that's taking up so much brain space, imagine how much space we would have if that insecurity was overcome. My hand gestures needed to match up with the thoughts. Like, we want to overcome that insecurity, make it a security, and then you'll have so much more free time to ideally think about more productive, more exciting, happier, more positive, more forthcoming things. Also, I've been journaling a ton. I've been doing this thing, I've done it a few times now, where I set the timer for 10 minutes to journal, and every time I've done it, I will extend I'll restart the timer at least 3 or 4, if not 5 times. And then I end up spending 30 minutes to an hour writing in my journal. And this has been a really good thing because in the first 10 minutes, the thoughts that I've poured out are thoughts that are on the surface of my head. The things that I knew had been going on during the day or during the week. But after the 20-minute mark, I start to dig what's underneath the surface and thoughts that have been overlooked, or that my attention has been on these surface thoughts, like these initial thoughts, whether it be an insecurity, a pressing work obligation, an upcoming event, you know, things that are very time sensitive or very consuming. And then underneath that, once you get all of those thoughts out of the way, then you're left with the next layer, and it's really interesting to see what pours out. And a lot of times when I thought I was in, you know, maybe a bad headspace, I get through page 1, page 2 of kind of my more negative thoughts, and then all of a sudden I uncover so much gratitude, or vice versa. I think that all is well, and then I'm like, oh, here is one thing that has been really, I guess, I've been holding on to, and other things have been taking my attention, so I didn't realize how long I'd been carrying something with me. And then one journal session, I got to release it. Anyway, it's just, I want to make my own journal. I want to make my own journal and have you guys have matching journals with me. Honestly, I want to have a journal, a pen, and a sticker pack. That's my next task that I'm going to do. So that when I'm talking about my journal, I'm going to be like, and this is my journal, link below, get it, here's the pen, you're going to love it, it works perfect with the paper. Oh, so I just got this book. Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I'm really shortly, and I'm page 15, but I already know that I'm gonna like this. I'm 95% sure I'm gonna really like this. I loved it. I got into it on the flight, and then I stayed up the whole next night reading it, which I haven't done at all this year. This is my first book that I read this year that I could not put down. You're watching a relationship come together and fall apart, and watching worlds come together and two people connect and intertwine their lives, and what that can do to people. Oh my god. And I love that the pacing is constantly switching in this book. There are certain parts that I am reading full speed, and then it slows down a little bit, and then I'm right back in. And this is her debut novel. I've been like DMing her on Instagram like a fangirl. I was like, Coco, what do I read next? She has not answered me. But she reposted me on her story twice. So I was like, maybe this is my in. I can be like, this is your debut novel. Otherwise, I would read another book from you, but you don't have another book, so what do I read? I'll let you know when I hear something. I just finished reading, I'll go get it, A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. Saw this all over Book Talk. I was like, oh, female psychopath eating her boyfriends? Let's do it. Game on. Sounds great. I hated it. It was corny. It was really corny. And the writing was fine. Mediocre at best, no offense. I don't know. I think I'm actually a tough critic when it comes to books. Reading a book, I feel like a lot of people that don't read very frequently, they're so proud of themselves for reading a book that they're like, love this one, you gotta read it. And it's like, no, this one's fine. I'm not gonna recommend this. This one I know. This one I think I'm gonna recommend. What did I read before? Oh, before I read Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. See, now that's a book. That is a book. That's probably why I hated this, because this followed James Baldwin. Sorry, Chelsea. I don't mean to like rat on this too hard, because if I ever created something and someone's like, this sucks, this is corny. Oh God. My computer fan must have been incredibly loud because it just stopped and it's silent in here now. I've been posting reviews after I finish books on TikTok for what I've been reading. And I've been doing a ton of outfit of the days on TikTok as well. I'm all about TikTok. Honestly, living above Emily June has made me a TikTok monster, because I know that she's gonna be TikTok famous. You know, she's gonna be huge on TikTok. She thinks in TikToks. Her brain works in memes. Like she's made for it. I am just happy to be there. So follow Emily as well. Now that it's September and summer's coming to an end, I'm gonna try to balance the work and social life, because I am someone who loves to be social. It's one of my favorite things. And I know where my boundaries are, you know. If I haven't gotten my work done, I won't go out because I won't feel good about it. I won't enjoy myself if I know I have things to come home to. However, if I've finished all of my things, I have no reason in my head to say no to anything. I need water. Whoa, I just choked on dust, or maybe I'm just gonna cough because I'm sick. I have no reason to say no to social obligations if I have my work done. However, now that September is here, I want to challenge myself. I've been in my year of rest and relaxation, not like the book, just in the general sense of looking to rest and relax after losing my mom last year completely unexpectedly. That put me through turmoil, and it was a really, really stressful, tense year. I don't think I relaxed for the entire year, and I wanted to be present for moments, and I wanted to be able to breathe. And so I've done that for 9 months. I really did. Yeah, I like moved across the country and in the middle, whatever. But I was moving to make my life easier. I noticed that I could have an easier life in California than I did in New York. New York is not easy living. California is easy living. Now, I might get to a point where it's too easy and I'm like, no, I need to feel pain more on a frequent basis. Like, New York is painful, but I love it. And I moved out here to make my life more relaxing. And now it's month 9, almost month 10. October is around the corner. It's probably gonna be October when I post this. It's like almost October. And I want to kick it up a notch. I have been maintaining, you know, I've been posting, besides the past couple weeks, but posting weekly on YouTube, posting weekly on my podcast, posting regularly on Instagram posts and stories, and on TikTok. So socially I'm doing things, and I'm staying up to date with my sponsors and my team, and making sure emails are all up. Like, I'm doing all of the normal stuff, but I'm not challenging myself. Like, for example, me wanting to create a notebook, that's a challenge. You know, I want to give my time to something. Like, my contract with Ana Luisa is over, so designing the earrings and the necklace, that took up part of my time, and now I have time to create something new. So I want to do more. I want to channel my more entrepreneurial spirit and my creative spirit, and give those aspects of myself attention, and not just calming my central nervous system, which needed to be regulated for sure. You should not be losing vision in the middle of the day because you're so stressed out. That is not normal nor healthy. See a professional. So I'm looking forward to, I'm really excited for the near future because I will be in Paris. I'll be in Paris. Ugh, and I will be eating bread and butter, and maybe I'll pop over somewhere else in Europe. I don't know what my plan is after, because I don't have a return flight booked. Woo! Okay, that's all. Also, check out my jewelry. You need this. Or you need the necklace. It's gorgeous. I'll have it linked down below. Okay, I love you guys so much. XOXO, Lexi.